Next up, we have the will center or the ego, or even it's like the heart center. And this is about willpower, ego, and the material world. And 62.6% have this undefined. This shows up as amplifying others' worth and value. The not self is always trying to prove its worth. And again, you can always ask that question of how am I trying to prove my worth, right? If this is undefined in you, then asking, am I trying to prove myself or how am I trying to prove myself? And the secret is never make promises to yourself or others. Don't chase external validation or praise. And remember, you have nothing to prove to anyone ever.
Ever. I first learned this. I have a completely open ego. And I learned this one time when I had to go to court, and I just chose to trust my strategy and authority. And it was just a stupid thing, but it was nerve wracking. And there was someone else on the other side, and it was awful. I didn't like it. But I just went in and asked myself, and they're like, "Aren't you prepared for anything?" I was like, "Prepared. Yeah, absolutely. I'm here as myself." I said, I just things like that. And what ended up happening was, myself was apparently an impressive creature, because at the end of it all, they were like, I can't tell that Mr. Edwards isn't, totally saying what he means. And I won the day.
Yeah,
And I should have been, my not self would have been, because he and the paper and look at this and look at that. I didn't have anything important enough to meet that description. Like I didn't have, if I had a canceled check or something proving something, I would have brought it, but I just brought me, just me. And it worked out perfectly. I had nothing to prove. And I thought I did. I mean, I kept thinking I did.
Yeah, I feel like in another situation, an undefined will in like this court situation or some kind of, interpersonal squabble, it
Yeah.
can be like, and like it'll try to puff itself up of like, I need to prove myself and I need to fight and I need to show that I'm some big whatever. And if you did that, it usually ends up looking foolish. When I see like an undefined will trying to prove themselves, like it always ends up like, oh, look at you, you're doing that. It always feels very uncomfortable. And you'd come off as false and trying to puff yourself up. And like the judge or whoever would then see this as like, what are you trying to prove? You look like a fool. You're trying to show off. Whereas like you just showed up and kept like listening to, sacral responding when they asked you these yes no
Answering the
questions.
questions that made me sound guilty, even a little bit, like politically speaking, not really speaking, but sort of politically. Don't admit that. That doesn't look good. That's an open ego thing. Doesn't look good. It's awful. The other thing about an open ego is there's a lot of questions. You'll be able to add a couple too, but one of my favorites is you look at yourself and start asking and seeing, do you have the sensation ever in your life, and even now and again, hey, I want to be good at that thing. How come that other person's so much better than me? I feel less. I'm noticing I'm getting little dagger spikes into my will and to my feeling of a healthy self because someone else does something really good or better than you, or that you're even measuring that it's better than you. See, the defined ego won't bother with that. They might make a quick measurement, and if they don't feel like competing that competition, they're out.
Not my
And if,
thing.
and if someone asks them later, their big fat ego might do one of two things. It might say, "No, I could have beat their butt if I felt like it," or it might say, "No, no, nope, didn't want to." You know,
Yeah, the
Uh,
willpower is literally not there in
it's just,
yeah, we
yeah,
don't care so much.
it's calmer in that way, and that open ego is not calm at all. In fact, this is probably one of the more decisively, because it amplifies. If it's open and you remember this word amplification, like it says up here, everything around that is ego needed is being amplified out of you, including the need to say yes, like 829 does, right? To just go along with a thing and or whatever. Someone asks you to do something, you don't want to seem like you can't do it. Someone says, hey, will you get back to this? You don't want to say no, so you say yes, but the truth is it doesn't feel good. That's a great way to see that you're an open ego being. It just doesn't feel good. It's like I might not do the thing, and now you start lying. The open ego is a big liar. Oh no, I'll do it. Half the time you won't. Moni, how much have you run into the people that don't do the thing?
It's
Tell us.
dude,
Tell us, Moni.
it's honestly maddening because I have a defined will. I'm an ego projector. It's like one of my two centers, right? So like I'm a very much a will being, and it is maddening talking to an undefined will when they're trying to prove themselves or trying to promise things. And so this one was someone close to me, then I'm always like, hey, you don't have to commit. Like, let me just know if you change your mind. Like, I really try to give them that out because it's really exhausting and like, it's even like upsetting because I'm like, now my heart is like up on something and thinking that you're committed to something that you can't. Like the undefined will cannot commit. Just don't do it. Just leave everything tentative as much as you can. Obviously, like life is life, and do what you got to do. But if you can, with friends or situations, being like, cool, I'll try to make it. I'll see how I feel the day of, right? Like leave it tentative because that feels way better to be on the receiving end than you feeling like you need to commit to something that you cannot commit to. And then you like let me down. Like that's super agitating. And it's also in the same way, like any of these undefined centers, you can get caught up in the energy of the other, but just know like,
Amplifying it.
yeah, but it's like you're never going to get to that satisfaction point. Like an undefined will is never going to be like, I did it. I've proven myself and now I am worthy and I'm done chasing that. Like that will never happen. You will never get to that, like, I did it point. It just becomes another thing. And you're like, I'm going to go accomplish this. And I don't feel any kind of like, yay, I did it. And you're going to go accomplish this other thing and not feel like, oh, I did it and check mark. It's just going to keep spinning the wheels, like these undefined centers, because if it was your energy, there'd be like an on off of some kind, but it's not. So all you're doing is continually amplifying this other guy's will and this other guy's, and maybe the planets are lighting something up. Like you're amplifying somebody else's that like, it's just going to be transient. Like it's never going to be yours. You're never going to get that like check, I did it off switch. So the sooner you can stop giving into that and stop being so offended, right? Because that's like the undefined will is the most
Yes,
easily
it's easily
offended.
defended. Oh my God, you can see it in the news.
Oh yeah.
You can
Oh
see it
yeah.
in lots of commentary talky type things. It's oh yeah, sports, you see it all over the place in that kind of way. The undefined, so they don't get the ego reward. That's what Moni was referring to.
Yeah.
The defined people have this rewarded ego that actually carries them for weeks or years or days at a time. It feels really good. It's healthy. It's perfect for them. And we feel less than as soon as they start feeling that. And it causes us to, oh yeah, it causes us to like amplify that. And suddenly we start competing with them. You'll notice if you look a bunch of charts around your lifetime that that in your open ego, you'll find the ego people very often you accidentally started to compete with. And it happens with arguments. You know, the open head holds on to, words someone else said because it just keeps, trying to think about things that don't matter. The open ego will do the same thing as a will center that feels deeply unworthy. That's the basic root thing underneath it all is this unworthiness. My bestie, oh, she's got a defined ego, great big defined ego, and it's not attached directly to her mouth, but it's close enough. There's two different activations going into the throat, and it shows. It shows, and I never try to compete, no
Oh,
matter what.
bless your
Yeah,
heart.
no matter what happens, I hear it, I see it. It's fire, and it's a type of passion I wouldn't want to go without. It's just amazing, and I don't have to explain to that ego that, oh, thanks for an ego boost. I'm going to go dig some holes now, because the open ego is really happy to bring home the little dead rat of the 10 dug holes to its mommy. It's a very innocent thing if you just let
Mhm.
it. Now I'm speaking from the voice of a generator, so the other types put your own spin on that, but I'm speaking from a satisfaction, how it's so satisfying, and I don't feel like a slave. Before I would have felt like a slave. And I would have been easily enslaved. An undefined ego has a real hard time unenslaving itself, has a hard time asking for that raise. Defined egos always get a little more dough. En masse, if you take the whole measurement, defined ego will definitely make more and the same job description by at least a little bit.
Mhm.
It's just the thing they do.
Yeah, and with all the undefined centers, like be aware of like the quality of people you're with that have that defined, right? Because I've noticed I have a defined will, and I have absolutely noticed like when I'm in a good place and I've been resting and taking care of myself, the people around me with undefined wills, they're all in like a happier, better place. They're like vibing, they're in a good time kind of mode. Whereas when I'm in the lower place and I'm tired and I haven't rested and I've overworked myself, the people around me will look real squirrely, right? Like they're going to look really on edge because like they're amplifying the quality of my will. So if you have this undefined and there's people in your life that have this defined, like try to hang out with the ones who are like taking good care of themselves and resting and doing that, like keeping their promises, right? Like the people who really have integrity, like, you know, you are in a way like the summation of the people you hang out with. So, you know, just be aware of who around you has this defined and the quality of that energy, because you're going to be doubling it up. And Danny disappeared, so I'm hoping he's going to come back soon. Oh, yeah, we have a comment. So Love to Neil C says, you guys are awesome. Thank you for sharing your I Ching knowledge so we can all learn on it. Thank you so much. It is really wonderful to like be receiving comments and positive feedback, because it's a lot putting into it and it's super fun. And I hope that you guys are vibing with it, because I definitely enjoy it. And it's really fun to like have a reason to deep dive and come up with these presentations and then like bring Danny along, be like, we're going to talk about this for a while. So thanks for hanging out. Also, Friends with Audio, you were commenting earlier and I was just typing it back. So thanks for hanging out and sending the positive feedback, because yeah, it means a lot that you guys resonate. Sometimes I'm doing this and I'm like, do people like this? I don't know. They seem to be. They're subscribing. They're doing it. So it really means a lot to be able to read some comments and get that feedback, because yeah, it's just nice.